we love our U.S. Olympic team. Let's check in with Jim Ryan of ABC News. Jim, good afternoon. How are things in Sochi today?
Well, things are not so bad, I guess. If you're not having to ski up there in these conditions, it's about 50 degrees outside right now. Some of the ski competitors have complained about the conditions on the course, saying that even the half pipe, not only the half pipe for this afternoon's slope-style event in snowboarding, but also the ski runs themselves have bumps, they have holes in them. Maybe it's the fault of the weather, maybe it's design, but I can tell you it is warm out there right now. Still, the United States has picked up another medal overnight.
Oh, that's great. In what?
I knew you were going to ask.
Oh, sorry. Oh, wait, hang on a second. It looks like Devin Logan, right? Silver
You are
medal?
right. Women's slopestyle skiing. She's from California. She won the silver behind a Canadian and ahead of a Canadian. So the gold and the bronze go to Canadians, but the silver in that event goes to Devin Logan.
And yesterday, we got it really quickly. Julia Mancuso, I know it's yesterday's news, but boy, the joy on her face when she finished that run and won that bronze medal looks to me like that's going to be one of the first iconic images of this Olympics for the U.S. team.
Absolutely, wrapping herself in that flag and then walking off the course, arms raised. She now has a complete set of Olympic medals, a gold, a silver, and a bronze that she's won over the last 8 years.
She's done the full thing there. All right, so let me. How are we doing overall in the medal count compared to other countries? Because
overall, we have 6 altogether: the 2 gold, the 1 silver, 1 today, and the 3 bronze medals that were collected yesterday. So, I mean, if you're looking at overall medal counts, Canada has 9 right now. They're in the lead. The Netherlands and Norway are tied for second place with 7 apiece. The United States now has 6.
Where are we likely to pick up our next medals? Where are we the strongest going forward?
Watch for Shaun White this afternoon in the half-pipe snowboarding competition to take that. He is still favored. You know, he decided to bow out of last week's slopestyle competition, but he did stick with this one, and he's expected to do very well. First, we'll have some qualifying, and then we'll have the finals in the slopestyle snowboarding.
Let's talk about the half-pipe for a minute there, though. You just touched on it with Shaun White, and we're hearing enormous complaints. You talked about the conditions of the slopes right now for alpine skiing. The half-pipe is in horrible condition, too, and the participants are really outwardly complaining about it. Are they doing anything to keep that track in shape?
Well, they've worked on a redesign out there. They've also been using chemicals all over the place to try to keep the stuff from freezing at such a warm temperature. You know, in other words, raise the freezing temperature. Because, like I say, it's 50 degrees out there on the mountain, and you know that's not conducive to competitive skiing or snowboarding. So they're treating it. They're doing redesigns all the time. They're putting in water at night to try to freeze it and keep the snow on the ground. They're also manufacturing a whole lot of snow too. They have not pushed down any of the stores of snow. These enormous man-made hills of snow that were pushed up into the mountain as early as December. They're reserved there under a big reflective tarp to keep them from melting, and then can be slid down into the snow areas.
Yeah, bring in the spare snow. Well, I mean,
exactly,
but what about the long-range weather forecast? I mean, is this going to be a problem going forward, or is there cooler weather on the way? I mean, maybe what you do is just delay it a little bit.
Well, yeah, and some of the snowboarders were suggesting that be done. At least practice runs have been put on hold, and maybe the competition will too. Kind of doubt it, but these are sort of the conditions they're dealing with. It's nice and warm in the daytime. It starts to cool off in the afternoon a little bit. We had a little drizzle here yesterday as well, but you get what you get.
Jim Ryan of ABC News joins us. He's live in Sochi. By the way, Jim, I see you're from Dallas-Fort Worth areas where you usually are based. I was just in Dallas over the weekend. It was colder there than in Sochi right now.
Absolutely. They could have held the Olympics in Fort Worth, I suppose.
Hey, Jim, it's reached that time now in our daily Olympic updates where we're going to address the sport of curling.
Okay.
Now, I know the U.S. women, apparently, the U.S. women's curling team lost their second match today, actually to Canada. And Canada, they know they're curling. Can you describe, if you could describe in one sentence what curling is, because I think a lot of American spectators are confused by this sport.
Well, I'm watching it right now, and I compare it to playing marbles. You remember when you were a kid, you had a circle of...
I compare it to watching paint dry.
Watching paint dry, watching grass grow, and playing marbles. It's all kind of rolled into one. I was over in the arena where they do the curling yesterday, and it's quite impressive. And people who are into it are really into it.
It's kind of exciting. And, the sport of it is, you have to brush the ice right in front of the stone as it comes down the ice there to make it go in certain directions, to go faster or slower, because the brushing melts the ice right in front of it, right?
I guess, I assume that's right, and there's a style to it, and there's a method, and and a technique, but boy.
You haven't tried it yet, Jim?
No.
All right.
But, people are getting into it a little more in the United States. I think Bemidji, Minnesota is the nation's capital of curling. So if you wanted to learn some curling, go out to Bemidji.
All right, so, look, I know that you're there and you're watching the events. Here in America, though, we're watching it on NBC. Mm-hmm. And one of the major topics, I kid you not, here in the U.S. right now is poor Bob Costas's eyes. Have you heard about this, and what's the discussion there? I mean, he's got conjunctivitis, and it started in one eye, and now it's spread to both eyes. He looks like some evil demon on the air. He really does. He looks, poor guy. I mean, my heart just goes out to him.
I know. I mean, and if you or I, if that happens to us, we work in radio. Who cares?
Yeah.
Maybe with some of us, quite honestly, it'd be an improvement. But I mean, he's got to be on TV, right? So.
Why are you looking at me when you say that, Jim Ryan?
Hey, I'm looking in the mirror, man.
Well, do me a favor. Don't, share a coffee cup with Bob Costas. We need you healthy, Jim.
Good idea.
Real fast, one last question. Again, politics always in the background here at the Olympics. And apparently yesterday, speed skater for the Netherlands, Irene Wust, she won a medal and then went to the celebration. She's openly gay, a lesbian, and there was Vladimir Putin with all of the anti-gay propaganda laws that Vladimir Putin has pushed. And apparently, according to Irene Wust, she got a little cuddle from the president of Russia.
Right. He came over and, put his arm around her and congratulated her and said it was a great show, great party, and hoped she was enjoying herself. And, she was very gracious. And so, yeah, it was an interesting side note, I think, to this whole thing and the politics that go into these Olympics and things that precede it and what comes after. But, that was interesting that Irene Wust there at the party, and here comes Vladimir Putin.
Vladimir Putin doesn't seem very cuddly.
No.
That must have been an interesting moment.
Maybe he didn't know she was gay.
Thank you, Jim Ryan. Can't wait to check in with you again tomorrow for our daily update. Enjoy the borscht.
Thanks so much.